Hey, high school. Thanks for finishing your self-portraits, or thanks for working really hard to finish those and submit them. It's a large chunk of this sort of online learning. So let me know how I can help you finish that. If you have questions, please reach out. Okay, then on Monday we started this idea of design, creating some radial design. And I think that's going to take us through until the end. It is May 6th, and we just have like 2 weeks left. And then finals. And I'll talk to you about your final next week. Your radial design practice on Monday, we talked about how to fold the paper to make it square. Today I'm going to show you how to use a ruler to make it square. Work on your final drawing today. And so find a large paper from what you picked up from the art room. I know that most of you have this. If you don't and you need another paper, that's fine. You just want to start with a really nice square of paper. Okay, so let me talk you through how I'm going to use my ruler. First, I'm going to measure the length or the width of the paper, and I'm at 12 inches here. It's like a little bit longer than 30 centimeters, so I'm going to use the inches side. And I'm going to start at the 0 and make a little mark at 12, slide up, make a little mark at 12, slide up, make a little mark at 12. I want at least 3 dots, and you might not even be able to see those. That's okay. If I just do 2, it's hard to get that line really straight. Draw a little pencil line, find some scissors and cut that. And now I should have a paper that's very close to square. Today, you should just work in pencil. And there's a couple reasons for that. One, you want to have much more accuracy in the sizes and distances between your shapes today. I am going to start with a very, very light X and T. I really want to get that in the middle. So coming back to my dear friend the ruler, I'm going to find 6 inches, make a little mark. And I'm going to do that 3 times to connect those. And again, this pencil line eventually I will erase. So this is just a guideline, make it as light as you can. Then I'm going to turn my paper. That's an important step. Turn my paper here to measure again at 6. And I want to make the T first because my ruler will not fit across the page the whole way. It's too small. Okay, so then from the middle, I'm going to go right to the corner. And that is going to give me my X. Again, these lines you will want to erase. They're just guidelines. You want to make them as light as possible. I thought the practices were interesting. I think you did them pretty quickly, which is a-okay, but it did create some differences in the sizes and placements of things. So what I'd like you to work on today is spend about an hour drawing this. Don't rush it. If you need to use your ruler to measure things, you're most welcome to. And again, I'm going to sort of start in the same way that I started here and build onto it until I get to a circle. I don't have to go all the way to the corners. I can, but I really want to finish it out to a circle at least that really fills the page. Okay, so I think you can see these pencil lines. Let me see if I can brighten this up a little bit. Okay. So again, I'm going to start with these with diamonds in the middle. And if it's important to me that I measure, you can go ahead and do that. You don't have to be crazy about it, but this is about 4.3 centimeters. So I want this one, was that right? Starting at 0, yeah, about 4.3. So starting at 0, I want this one to be about 4.3. And I really sort of want them to be the same sort of diamond shape. And that's why working lightly in a pencil is going to help me out. I will end up tracing all of these lines later, and that will allow me to create line variation. So about 4.3, that's pretty close there. And again, I want them to be the same size and the same place on that radius. As I continue to work, did you see how I flipped the page so that sort of whatever I'm drawing, it's facing me? It gets a little bit tricky in drawing things upside down. How am I doing here? Yeah, that's pretty close. Okay. I started with the T, then I can add something to the X. And because these are about the same, I know that these points should be about the same. So I'm going to make a circle. And that circle, about half of the circle is right in between there. So I'm thinking about how things fit together. And again, the more accurate you are from the inside working out, the better your work will resolve in the end. Okay. Now, I could just keep repeating this 1,000 times, but I am going to bring some variation into it. And so from here, I'm going to mark a little line to help me plan the next part. So I'm sort of stopping and starting in the same place. And this might be a strategy for some of you. I'm going to make like a curve line here. And this sort of curve that comes in like this. Okay. So what I'm looking for today is some more accuracy. I'm looking for something that would be a final drawing. So we were going from practice and experimentation to now something that's well planned out, that's a little bit more calculated and a little bit more even. Now the cool part is I can come in and add lots of things inside these shapes as well. So if I start a little bigger, I can come back later and add into them. Some of you were working with curves, and it looked a little bit more floral or organic. Some of you were working with geometric shapes. Think about the spaces in between, and not everything needs to connect. Now, just by looking at this for just a little tiny bit, I can see that this is a little longer than I've got over here. So maybe that's something that I want to fix now, just by bringing this a little bit longer. Because the farther I go, the more it's going to change. You don't have to measure everything, but I am looking for a little bit more accuracy. Double lines are great, where I'm just tracing this idea that was already there. But again, this curve isn't like this curve. And so that dissimilarity is going to throw me off the farther that I go. When you take a photo of your work, can you look at that photo before you send it to me and make sure it's clear enough so that I can understand your pencil lines? I don't know if you need to finish today, but it should look like an hour's worth of effort. Mine has been about 10 minutes and I've been talking the whole time. Okay. And again, I can repeat what's happening. Bring my circles back. Maybe I'll put my circles here. And again, I want those to just be about the same distance from the edge. And I could check that with my ruler if I wanted. Not everything needs to connect. Not everything needs to be a closed form. Okay, looking forward to see the beginning of your drawings. We're going to add color to these as well. So maybe by Monday, the end of Monday's class, you have a finished drawing, and then that will give us a couple classes to add the color. Don't forget self-portraits if you're the few who need to finish.